Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give a about losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right?
Take chances at him, try to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing.
It has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Fighters are divided over Manny Pacquiao's comeback at 46. Floyd Mayweather calls it a mistake that risks damaging Pacquiao's legacy and says it's sad to see him still fighting at this age. Concerns grow about health and motivation as some see the fight as more financial than competitive.
Whereas Pacquiao, at his age, which is sad that he has to fight.
Rolly Romero says it doesn't matter if Pacquiao beats Barrios or not because he's already a legend and one of those guys who doesn't care if he wins or loses. He also showed interest in fighting Pacquiao next.
Which fighters actually fought?
Rolly Pacquiao.
Well, Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give a about losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right? Bro, all that undefeated, that don't mean shit if you're not fighting nobody. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Manny Pacquiao's legacy, saying the Filipino icon has nothing left to prove. He emphasized that Pacquiao's achievements speak for themselves and suggested that returning to the ring isn't necessary. Jones admires Pacquiao, but questions the need for a comeback at this stage in his career.
Fighter of the decade, 1990s, passing on the torch to Manny Pacquiao, fighter of the 2000.
Right.
Any advice tonight for him?
Just be smart. Don't get overly aggressive. Try to be smart with your aggression. Take your shots when you can, but don't go out there to just strictly knock him out. Just outbox him like you did last time. And when you get chances, take chances at him, try to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing. You have nothing to prove to him.
Any advice for any children and youth on the benefits of sports, not smoking in general? What would you say to them?
No smoking, no drinking, party lightly. Always keep your own mind. That's how I got to where I am now. I always keep my own mind. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs. Stay in your own mind. In your own mind, then you can make your own choices and decisions the proper way. Give yourself the best chance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat. Thank you.
Tim Bradley expressed doubts about Pacquiao's comeback, pointing out that financial reasons seem to be the main driver rather than a passion for competition. He noted that returning from retirement often hints at money issues. Bradley also highlighted that Barrios, being young and in his prime, might have the upper hand, potentially ending Pacquiao's career in a tough fashion, which raises serious concerns about this fight even happening.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. It has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One. Two, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. He didn't look good. He was outmatched by, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, bigger fighter, knows how to, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. That Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. But that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios.
Combat analyst Ryan Campbell weighed in on Manny Pacquiao's unexpected return, pointing out the unique circumstances of a 46-year-old fighter going up against a younger champion like Mario Barrios. He drew comparisons to George Foreman's legendary comeback, suggesting that sometimes age can surprise us. According to Campbell, boxing history has witnessed older fighters summon a spark of their former selves for one unforgettable night. While skepticism is fair, he believes the unpredictable nature of boxing always leaves room for miracles.
Only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Campbell continued by addressing Pacquiao's current condition, especially his physical tools. Despite being far past his prime years, Campbell observed that Manny still carries a level of speed that matches many average fighters today. While he may not move with the same sharp explosiveness as before, his agility and hand speed are still effective, especially compared to less refined boxers in today's welterweight division. Recent clips of Pacquiao's training have added fuel to the debate. In a short video showcasing his pad work and movement, the former 8-division champion looked focused and surprisingly quick. His punches came in flurries, and his footwork showed glimpses of the rhythm that once baffled top-tier opponents.
Power, right? He hasn't fought in 4 years. What makes you think he's got a chance against the much younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios?
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
Promoter Frank Warren and broadcaster Simon Jordan have openly voiced strong disapproval of Manny Pacquiao's return to the ring. Both believe that allowing a 45-year-old legend to step back into a high-stakes title fight is a questionable move. Warren described the situation as disappointing and unnecessary, especially when Pacquiao's legacy has already been secured. Jordan echoed that sentiment, saying, "There's nothing left for Pacquiao to prove, and risking long-term damage for a final bout feels more like exploitation than respect."
Champion Mario Barrios to defend his belt against Manny Pacquiao. And about 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I would have said hells yeah if we had a Manny Pacquiao championship fight. But Manny's been retired for 4 years. He's 46 years old. His last fight was in 2021, and he lost to Ugas in a unanimous decision. I watched his exhibition bout against the kickboxer guy in Japan. That didn't look good. This is a bad idea. a really bad idea. And again, I think people will look at this and go, well, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, and yeah, that happened. And I also said that Mike was going to get really badly hurt, and it was a terrible idea for him to do that. And there were some health issues and everything else. Luckily, Mike didn't get super hurt in the fight, but this is a world championship level fight against a sitting world champion, and Manny does not belong in there. And again, I'm worried that he's going to get hurt badly for the same reasons. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. Let's just start here. Manny Pacquiao, again, I just went over it. 46 years old, been retired 4 years, lost his last fight. He beat Keith Thurman before that, but that was 2019. So it's been a while. And this is not me discounting who I think is one of the greatest boxers ever and has an argument to be the greatest ever, because what did he won world championships in how many different divisions? 8, 9, something crazy like that. There'll never be anybody like Manny Pacquiao. But let's just look at it and throw away your bias or throw away your fandom of Manny Pacquiao, because of course there's going to be a ton of people that watch this, and fair play, right, to those people that want to watch this. They want to see their guy go out and try to give it his all one more time. And Mario Barrios didn't look super spectacular when he was on the Netflix card, the Jake and Mike card, and he got dropped